Alright, we're here with the Hololive 5 character spotlight, where we're going to find some sort of use for all 9 of these characters. They're kind of a lot. So let's start off with Takane Louie. She is a center popper with healing, I think it is. Yeah, it's healing. I thought it says it right here. And she's got a freaking revive and reducing the duration of the smoke in spirit, where you do the thing like the fog from the freaking 3DS games. She's got that. She's not very good. I'll tell you, if we go to double Z's and below, as you can see, Brave kind of has this guy, who also has revive, but also has pop heal and is a tap inflator. So he's literally just a better Louie. So I would not say that Louie is good. So we'll go ahead and get the other double Z rank out of the way. Paid Pack Hachima. Her actual name is like Akai Hato. I'm just gonna call her Hachima because that's what I know her as. She is a vertical popper that has the ability to crit. It's just like freaking just like friggin' Miko from the last one, except somehow we gave her pre-fill and after-fill. Whatever, game. Sure. So I'm just gonna build a team that has her, and then we'll see what happens from there. Alright, this is not anywhere near a decent team, but whatever, who cares? So, we have Hachima. Why does she have a bonus? Whatever. Didn't even realize she was going to have a bonus, but I don't really care. So what we're gonna do is hope that we don't kill with her by accident, because that would kind of suck. And then see how much damage she does. It's not gonna be a lot, I can tell you that much. Do Fish Doodle. Then we're going to do EX Pop. And then we're going to see if we can get the crit or not. Looks like we did. I don't care to get the not crit, but she's not very crazy because Double Z Eerie, I don't know what their actual peak team is, but it certainly does not have Hachima on it. So, I mean, if you're really missing a character for autoing, I guess she can be used. She's worth is she worth $7? I don't know. That's kind of up to you. Next up, let's get Kanata out of the way, because Kanata doesn't really do anything. In fact, her old version, I think, is a little bit better. So we go to Tough, you'll find Kanata. She is a all-popper that makes a transforming ball, where basically you pop it, and then all of the Puni that are affected by that ball become Kanata. And she also has Link Big and Easy Link, which actually is like the best kit you can have, besides a Link Big Afterfill, to have this friggin' setup. So, that's decent, I guess. This team is nowhere near good, but it doesn't really matter. So basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to get into Fever Time, and then we're going to get into Fever Time. Crazy. And I'll just show off what she does. I just brought a Triple Z Tough team because I kind of just wanted to, just to see how they do. I mean, obviously none of the characters are maxed, but Triple Z Idol Corone. She used to be really good. Anyways, when we use Kanata, she makes this little ball. We touch it, everything is Kanata. And then when you max out her skill, she's actually pretty chainable. Like, actually pretty decently chainable, so. However, as you can see, that big Puni just gave her her regular Soultimate, which, not very good. But then we can do this, and then this should be a million? Ah, close enough. If you max out her Soultimate, she can probably find use somewhere. The only problem is that Swimsuit Corone and Pajama Corone exist, who are also Link big characters, but they're Inflate 4s for her and a Soultimate filler for her. So I just realized this entire page is, I have a perfect page of tough triple Zs. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if you max her out, she's actually not that terrible because her kit is like built around her Soultimate, but there's no point to use her. So whatever. Next up, we have Matsuri. Actually, no, we'll do Sora because Sora's pretty easy to get her gist, and I'm not even gonna bother to show it. So Sora is an attack booster with inflating, which is a pretty standard. And her skills are popping her own large Puni of a size 4 or larger, can fill the Soultimate gauges of other characters, and she also has the Hollow Unity skill similar to Suisei. So if we go to, we can just go here, characters with bonuses. Of all of the characters here, she can kind of be used for score attack, you can kind of be used for score attack. Pekko's, these two are attack boosters, so there's something. You got 3 attack boosters, no score boosters, but I mean, hey, whatever, who cares? 3 attack boosters is pretty cool. Then you can have like a Punk Catgirl Marine, or Ayame, or you could even use Kanata. Yeah, none of these characters are really score attack characters, except I actually lied, and we can go ahead and talk about the next one. Matsuri. Matsuri is a tap inflator. Where is she? She's here. Matsuri is a tap inflator. Mine's got OB5 because I told her so many times. It's ridiculous. She's a tap inflator with damage fill, which, I mean, is not very good inside of score attack, but she also has pop heal, meaning that in counter weeks, she is actually really good because the damage fill will very easily get her own Soultimate, and then the pop heal will heal herself. So she can go for a very long time, especially if you have like Big G counter weeks. She can literally just infinitely heal herself, infinitely, like, she can just go forever. So that's cool. I don't play score attack, but if you do, she's pretty usable. Anyways, now to the characters that you're actually interested in. Let's start off with Watame, because Watame is the most recent one I got, and all that stuff. Yeah. So Watame is a Soultimate filler with the Rimuru linking skill, and then the HP-based skill similar to Spectre. At max HP, it is an 80% boost, and then it's like linear, where when you're 50% HP, it's like 40%, and then obviously when you're dead, it's 0% extra. So the problem with this skill is that you cannot test it. You have to literally just go into a battle and then use her. The only problem is that this throne she has a bonus against. And this was a problem with Spectre as well. People would go to this. They would do something like this, where we'll just do this. Soultimate fill. Then we'll do an EX pop. It's not full, but we'll then do this. Then we'll do Watame. We are at 100% bonus. We got a combo. And then all of a sudden, oh my god, she's doing 238,000 damage. That's insane. But that's not what actually happens in actual fights. And so, really, she just did like 250k there, and she's only G1. But that's her at her literal, unobtainable best. At the literal peak of her capabilities, Well, almost a peak because I don't have golden claws, but at the basic peak, she only did 250k. Let's go put Blizzaria on the team and then see what happens with her. I mean, obviously, she's going to do a little bit more damage because we're going to actually get the G Soultimate for Fubuki, but not I could just say Katie. You know that it's Katie. I don't even have to get the Soultimate for that. So we get the G Soultimate, do the EX pop. So remember, Watame basically just did 250k. Blizzaria is gonna do a whopping. Oh, she did a little bit less damage. But remember, the Watame we just witnessed is at literal peak. The literal peak of her capabilities. I'm going to actually get the G Soultimate again, and then I'm going to buff up her G Soultimate by 1 level so we can take an estimated guess. We have the G Soultimates. Yeah. Now we hit this. We're basically at 100% HP, so the damage is not actually not very different. So yeah, she just did 245k, which is pretty cool. So now, let's level up her G Soultimate by 1 and see what happens. So we're gonna go from 245k to a whopping 255k, so 10k. So at max, she's probably doing like highball, say 280. Look at her dance. So now, let's see what happens when we go to a stage that actually is going to hit you for trying to do something, and see what happens. So here we have this stage, pretty famous for having a lot of damage to be able to do, which is pretty useful because it counters you, and it is permanently available. So let's see how much damage Watame does when we're at 11k, which is a pretty reasonable place to be at in terms of HP. Well, it's actually a little less than 11k. This is about where you'd be for normal circumstances. So 350 to... So she just did about... is that 330k? 330k is pretty good. However, her damage obviously does go lower the more damage you take. So let's see how much damage we can do in 7 Soultimates and then compare it to Blizzaria. Hopefully I actually get a good run because it's kind of necessary. She is much better to use with Golden Claws because Golden Claws has starter range, and basically you can get into Fever Time almost instantly, which means more HP to have. But of course, I don't get good luck. I get terrible luck. My boards are so terrible, you can't, like, they're just awful. Awful boards. Shuka has a Peerless for all I care. I don't like it. Don't like it. It's terrible. Drop big for Watame is pretty cool. Only problem is frickin' Fubuki doesn't have her Soultimate. But whatever. So what we're gonna do now is hope that we get some good luck. So that's 4 Soultimates, 5 Soultimates. Under normal circumstances, you do it like this. 6 Soultimates, 7 Soultimates, 162, which is not very good. Well, yeah, still, yeah, not very good. 162k in 7 Soultimates. Granted, she's only G2, and if we leveled her G Soultimate up, we would skyrocket in damage to... Let's highball and say she's doing 1.7 million. I just remembered. I have to not be freaking doing Have to not be finishing the stage. Forgot. So, let's see what happens with Blizzaria. That's 2 Soultimates. 3 Soultimates. And that's 4 Soultimates. That's 5 Soultimates. And 6 Ultimates. And as you can see, we're already passing it, and we have an 8th Ultimate at the ready. That's not any X-Popper. And in 7 Ultimates, as you can see, it's much higher. Like, by quite a bit. And there's no sort of HP threshold, no nothing like that. So Watame is good if you don't have Blizzaria, but if you don't have Blizzaria, you shouldn't run Heartful. It's pretty simple. Just don't run Heartful if you don't have Blizzaria. So, and that's not even going over the fact that Watame doesn't even have a skill to help get her own Soultimate up. We just got lucky when I got that, so Watame, she's fine. But, like, it's cool that, like, the HP skill is like, oh, if I go out of context, it looks pretty good, but in practice, it's really just, she's very much so a nothing character. Like, really. Next up, we'll go with Fubuki, because, I want to. I just want to. Fubuki is an Inflate 4 with Redrop and Refill. So, you really want that second skill. So let's go to my Mysterious team. This is the team that I have. Let's go test it against Throne and see what happens. See if I can win. So the thing with Inflate 4s and the Mysterious team is that every Inflate 4 of an Aqua is Aqua's G-Ultimate, which is very cool. So we'll just get this, do some of that. Man, if only I could instantly get Fever. So we'll just do this. Do this. Now the problem with using Mika is that, well, as you can see, she kind of just drops big because she wants to. So we'll do this. There's nothing that can be done about it. Really was hoping I could get freaking another Mika's ultimate, but of course I couldn't. Maybe I can do Arley's ultimate? Nope. Could not do Arley's ultimate, and because I got greedy, we lost. If I did Aqua, I definitely wouldn't have won because we were like more than 200k away. So if I can actually get decent luck and actually get Arley's ultimate off, we'll be able to do this pretty easily. So let's do that. See, that's not what I was supposed to do. That is not what I was supposed to do, but we'll win anyways because we're just that cool. So let's do this. That is 100% not what I was supposed to do, but whatever. See, you have to pop the Mikas. Miku? It's Miku. So we'll do this. Then we'll do this. Then can we do an Arlay? Yes, we can. We'll wait as long as I can, so that way Arlays don't show up. There we go! We messed up and I still did 2 million damage because Fubuki is only G1. So she's pretty cool, works pretty well with Mysterious. The only problem with Fubuki is that she's actually straight up useless if you have the meta team, because if you have meta, then that means you have Beach Natsuomi, who is literally the same thing, except instead of having LB stats, she has starter ranged. So, Fubuki really just doesn't really do anything if you have Beach Natsuomi. But if you don't have her, she's still pretty cool. So, I like her. Next up, we have my favorite of this event, Subaru. She's LB5 for me because, of course, I get her LB5. But anyways, she is she's got Drop Big and she's got Unity, which is pretty cool. But her Soultimate is unique. It is an all-popper with the chance to crit. So, basically, RNG. So what we're going to do is do her Soultimate 10 times in a row and see just how many times she gets a crit. We're going to replace Megumin with him just because I'm going to go to Slimeamander and freaking Demon God he's an AoE. Alright. So we just do some of this. There isn't a single Subaru on my screen. What in the world, game? Like, actually, what is going on? We'll just make sure it's G Soultimate, just cuz. So you can tell if it's a crit or not, because Subaru herself will actually show up, which is cool. It doesn't actually need to be a G Soultimate. So that's 2 for 2. Three for 3. 4 for 4. 5 for 5. 6 for 6. 7 for 7. 7 for 8. 8 for 9. And then to finish it off, 9 for 10. So out of 10 times, we didn't crit once. That is a lot higher than the average. Apparently, it's only like a 75% chance to crit only. That's still a 3 out of 4 chance to crit, which I think is pretty good. So, pretty good. She's cool. I think that's very cool that she just did a crit 9 times out of 10. So, yeah. I don't know how much damage she did, but we're going to put Megumin back on, and we're going to see how much damage we can do against the frickin' Ryusen and Senenki stage. So the cool thing about, well, the thing about Subaru is that she also has Drop Big along with Idol Mera. People don't like that, but then again, people don't really like anything. They don't like that they have to play the game. They don't even like Megumin, which is kind of whatever. I don't care. Don't use Brave then, silly. So, the real problem with Brave is the fact that we still have to use Itsuki, who is not a good Fever Extender, because she does not have any skills to help get her Soultimate up outside of Afterfill, and I don't think I should have to tell you, Afterfill is not very good at getting your Soultimate up because that only happens after you use your Soultimate once. So, we'll do 7 Soultimates and see what happens. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. Oh no. It has to be a regular Soultimate. But still, 7 Soultimates and we did 2.6 million damage. With G's Ultimate, that's 2.7. In 7 Soultimates, they did 2.7 million damage. Granted, my Megumin is LB10, so really it's only like... If we really lowball it, it's 2.5 million, but I think it's probably closer to 2.6. But, yeah, like, we've done 12 Soultimates and she hasn't crit once. That is very lucky. That's not what normally happens. Usually she crits a little bit less often, but still pretty often because it's a 75% chance. So, if you just like Subaru, she'll crit enough for you, apparently, because all the Subaru haters, they're like, oh, her Soultimate is such a gamble. It's not even worth using her Soultimate. And they're like other coping stuff like that, but just, I'm the one who's going to be out here doing 2.7 million damage in 7 Soultimates, which I think is pretty cool. So finally, we have Peko. Peko is an extreme popper with fast fever and either fever fill or the permanent Ohajiki bonus. Put on screen the permanent Ohajiki bonus, but speed it up a little bit. Basically, she's serviceable as an Ohajiki bonus, but I think Ohajiki bonuses suck. So, we're going to use her on the normal team. Now, the problem with Peko on Heartful is that, well, I don't like it. Don't like it. Not having Doll U for Heartful sucks. Because the main problem is Orihime, not Xiaomi, and Summer Setsuna. Summer Setsuna not as much because she's the fast fever. You want to turn her on screen anyways. But Orihime, not Xiaomi, doesn't have any sort of skill to help get her Soultimate up. But if we just go in terms of pure damage, how much damage can we do to these enemies? Let's see how much we could do in 8 Soultimates. So we then links with this. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. And then we'll finish it off with an 8th. So in 8 Soultimates, tribe neutral, we do a whopping 1.67 million damage in 8 Soultimates. Can you see why I think Brave doing 2.7 in 7 is so insane? These guys are doing the guys aren't even doing 1.7 in 8. And granted, I'm missing a whole Unity character who's actually broken, but still. So, the thing with Peko is that she's really just she's nothing special. She's Tamanta and Ren on a team that already has a better EX Popper and Doll U. Heartful doesn't need a Tamanta and Ren. They used to, and then Doll U came out over a year ago. So, but what if we look at free-to-play Heartful, which is where most people would be using her? So we'll do this, and then it's some Double Z Noel. Yeah, our stats go down quite a good bit, to a point where we literally can't... If Peko didn't have a bonus against this throne stage, we would not be able to win. So, just want to point that out. Anyways, the cool thing about free-to-play Heartful is that they now have 2 fast fevers, which is cool, because now it makes it actually possible to get into fever time at a reasonable time, which is pretty cool. I like that. So let's see how much we can do in 8 Soultimates now. That's 3 Soultimates. 4 Soultimates. 5 Soultimates. 6 Ultimates. Seven, please tell me you hit. 8 Ultimates. We didn't get her G Ultimate, but whatever, just add 100k. 1.6, which that's not accurate at all. You should really have added like 40k. So 1.55, a whole 100k less than Yanbo, without a starter ranged. Yep, I mean, she's cool. Like, if you, the problem is that Heartful sucks. Heartful is not good if you don't have Nyanbos, so there's just nothing to show. This was mainly just a showcase for Subaru and to see how much damage Watame did, because I knew Pekka wasn't good enough. Fubuki's actually pretty cool too. So, really, all of the UZs are more interesting to talk about than the UZ Plus, which is kind of sad. But, I mean, hey, Heartful finally has a free-to-play EX popper. Too bad free-to-play Heartful is garbage and literally unrunnable. So yeah, other than that, I like this event. Cool characters, cool stuff. Subaru should have been the UZ Plus, so that way Brave could be number 1. They still wouldn't have been, but it would have been funny to see people cope about not using a UZ Plus because, well, it's always funny to see people cope. Anyways, yeah. Bye.